Oh, Bruce, how would you describe the impact surrounding the news of William Karlsson and what you missed there?
Yeah, I mean, we had a maintenance day for him the other day, and we were hoping to get good news. It wasn't what we wanted and what he wanted, but he'll be week to week for now, so we'll see how that plays out. It's a hole in our lineup when he's out, but you know what? We got through it earlier this year. It's an opportunity for others. At that time, it was an opportunity more for Cole Schwinn, who happens to be hurt at the same time. So that's probably the tough part, is they go out together, two guys that can play the middle of the ice. So, we'll move Howie in there, but he's ill right now, so we'll see how he's doing and if he's ready to play tonight. If not, it'll be Lisinski's spot for a little bit here, and we'll go from there.
Jack just said they have to play to our structure, because that's what got us as far as we've got this year, but also be free and play relaxed. Would you have a similar message?
I have that message every game. I never want to tie their hands, especially a guy like Jack Eichel. Their line, they've got. Listen, there's always non-negotiables, but they're going to try to make plays. They're going to turn some pucks over. It's time and score, then responsibility, and we're going to talk about that with them. And I think the whole group has to, play free, but we all have to look the same without the puck, Gary. That's the one kind of thing we want, right? We play a system that, it's interchangeable parts with each other, so let's make sure we're all doing our part to get a puck back. Once they get a puck back, the rules change a little bit for guys that, need the more the creative game versus the guys that can play a more direct game. That's probably the best way I would describe that.
Do you think the 2 6-on-5 goals could be the start of your momentum changing?
Well, it certainly helped us get a point. I think, if we convert on one of those chances in overtime that we probably typically would, well, Jack's, that probably gives us a little bit of juice. But you know what? I don't think it's going to detract us. It's not going to push us farther back from getting where we want to go. It just could have maybe helped us a little more. But I think the 6-on-5 goals do. You don't see that very often. So we'll see tonight.
I'm sorry to address this, but the decision to call a timeout before the second 6-on-5 goal, and sometimes you see the defensive side call a timeout. What was the thought process there, and did they do exactly how you drew it up there?
The thought process in the timeout was they iced the puck. So their guys on the ice, they can't change and they're tired. So should we call a timeout? Because that would allow them to rest. We saw something we wanted to change, so we switched a player, Karlsson for Pietrangelo, to have another left stick because we're running things off the right side. So that was the biggest reason. Give our guys a breather, give their guys a breather too, but and then have a plan in mind. And I think the faceoff is a pretty straightforward play. Dom had the board out, and I think we've got a couple options depending on how they're coming at us. If we win the draw, we use the one with the one-timer right to the net. It happened to work. Doesn't happen without a good puck recovery. So that was the thinking with the timeout. We wanted to change one of the people on it to get a left stick in there, and we thought maybe if we were able to slow everything down and walk through it, it'd be easier. That's all.
You mentioned, Bruce, the situational awareness the other day. You usually do that to teams, late goals. How do you pull a team out of that? Because it's uncharacteristic.
Well, we talked about it, and we talk about it, and we'll keep talking about it. Like, you can't, you could, speaking of timeouts, you could call a timeout, the closest whistle to the last minute of the period, and say, hey, but we should be farther along that. We're a veteran group. We've got a ton of winners in that room. So I think it's just going to happen just by the guys being a little more focused on the important moments, and then, that'll help us get out of it. Now, let's hope it's tonight. It can't go on forever. What I see, Ghost, I don't see our whole overall play going south on us. Guys bailing on the system, so to speak, and doing their own thing. That's when you know you're in trouble. Right now, I think our team is a play or two away from getting out of this, including in the last minute. So that's where we're at. I wish I could give you an easy answer how we can automatically change that. I'm just, to me, as I said, most of the time when you get sick of losing, you've had enough, it corrects itself, and we've got to be at that point pretty soon.
What is your explanation for the offensive pace that Shea Theodore's been on and remained on this season?
Well, he's always been a good offensive player. He's a little bit ahead probably of where he's been in the past. I'd say health, for one. He had a surgery, I think, was it last year on it? So it kind of derailed him from Thanksgiving on. I can't remember the first year. We had a lot of D out, but so that's been good. He's managed to stay healthy. Consistent partnership. We started him on the left. He went to the right, so maybe getting an opportunity to do that, and then we had to do what we had to do. Power play's going better than it has in other years. That always gives you points. He's at the top of that. So I imagine that helps him. He gets more touches. Probably all of those things. Maybe being named to Team Canada could be a thing that gives him a little more confidence boost too.